Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron. I help people expand their consciousness. Now, in this video, I'll be sharing with you some manifestation secrets and understanding how we can let go of the outcome but also have the intention at the same time. Now, this is something that I talk about in a video that I did on relationships and understanding how we can visualize that which we want, we can have an intention, but at the same time we must completely let go of the outcome and not be attached to how it happens. And I've had a couple people ask, how do we go about that process and what is the perfect balance? Well, in order to explain this, I need to explain the process altogether to give it context for us then understanding how we go about this. Well, during the process, it's about understanding that our job, our ego's job, is to focus on what we want, to take action, and that as we begin to do that, we start to become who we prefer to be, and we then start to see the reflection in our life of that which we want. Now, of course, our self-image is also important in that and how we view ourselves, because a lot of times our beliefs will be tailored to that, and our beliefs are creating the kind of experiences that we're having. Now, this is also about understanding what our job is not. Now, the how of how things happen, the way things come about, that is not our job. Our job is to be present to the moment. Our job is to take action from a point of presence and to become who we prefer to be. But the how is something we can leave up to the process itself. Now, what this means is that we have enough trust in ourselves that we are going to put it out there, we're going to focus, we're going to learn from situations, and that from that point, then the opportunities can allow to be brought into us for us to see those things come into fruition. But it's about understanding that to make this a complete kit, we have to know that there's also a larger part of the process that's being taken care of. Now, a lot of times we can try too hard, meaning we're almost doing too much. We're making too much effort. We might be overthinking the process. But when we learn that our job is more of to be in the state of being that we prefer, we then see that that becomes the primary objective and things then fall into place easier. It becomes a much more easy process because the resistance starts to go away. Resistance gets brought in when we think we're supposed to do more than we actually are, when we think it's our job to force things to happen, to force a circle peg into a square hole. When we realize that if we just relax, we focus on our state of being, things start to happen easier, and then it becomes something that just almost allows itself to happen rather than us trying. Now, this is why also, though, action is still important. Taking action is a part of us becoming who we want to be. The action is what solidifies and anchors in the conditioning of the feeling that we want. And when we start to do that more and more, we start to become who we prefer to be. Now, letting go of the outcome is also about realizing that we are letting go of the limitations that could be holding us back. Maybe we want to create more financial abundance in our life. But if we are only focused on that happening in one or two little ways, we are actually limiting ourselves from the whole spectrum that our life could bring that through to us. Realize that there are an infinite number of ways that could come through, but sometimes focusing on just one or two ways is limiting the expression of that happening. Now, this is why the importance is on focusing on the feeling that we want. So the feeling that would come from the financial abundance that we want, from the relationship that we want to create. And as we begin to anchor in that feeling and becoming someone that just gives ourselves the validation that we want, gives ourselves the financial abundance that we want by being that which we want to be, by feeling that freedom, that feeling within, then we increase the probabilities of how that could come through. But if we're attached to it only coming through in one or two ways, we're limiting ourselves from all the other ways that could actually come into our life. So many times, things could actually happen better than what we want to happen. But if we're attached to how it has to happen, we're creating our own kink in our own hose. We're creating it not to happen in the full expression of how it could. So the power of this whole video is in knowing that we don't need to limit ourselves from how things could happen. We can expand our awareness, and then we expand the probabilities for what we want to come into our life. That the whole point of manifestation is to remain in the state of being that you prefer by feeling the emotions of what you want before you have it. Now that seems like something that might be hard to do, but realize that when we visualize, many times our brain doesn't know the difference between what it is visualizing to what it is actually experiencing. So if we use visualization as a tool to feel the emotions that we want, to anchor in that feeling, that state of being, we then start to become it. And if we start to become it, that's when the reflection in our life will start to change. We must first change on the inside. So this is about knowing that your job is about simply remaining in this state of being that you want. Have a focus and an intention for what you want, but realize that you can reduce that down to the feeling, and that then as you're focused on the feeling and being that and simply deciding that that is who you are now, you'll then start to see the reflection in your life. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, share it if you found it of value, and as always, I will see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste. All right, bye.